you go with the flow. That if one question has been given, just do that question, and then ऐसे आप tune in करेंगे subject के साथ, right? Okay, good morning all the online students. ठीक है, बताइए. मैं बीच में हूँ. I have to be more louder. अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, बताइए. Tell me. क्या लिखा है आपने? What you have written in emoji? Actually, I have to see to the camera. Right, the camera is right there. And if I'll not stand there, then what happens? It will not come. People won't be able to see me. So that is why I'm standing here. ठीक है? बताइए. ठीक है नहीं, I just want you to discuss what content you have written. ऐसे बता दो if you have not written also. Okay, no problem. So do one thing, write today and then we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. So moving on further, क्या क्या किया अभी हमने? We have done the backgrounds of India and USA, right? What else we have done? We have done the pre-phase of the Cold War. Then we have done the post-phase of the Cold War. These two we have done, right? So can you tell me some of the points of the pre-Cold phase era and the post-Cold phase era? Some of the points. One person who can tell me and also give me the reason of it. बताइए. बिल्कुल. Socialist planning थी because that's why the US also was not very happy with what kind of planning we took. That was a mixed economy. Okay, what next? Yes, then they were providing what they were providing? Military arms. They were supporting them. Obviously, India won't like it. Then? Bilkul. Yes, they were upfrontly saying that you should sort your this dispute, India and Pakistan. Then? Right, 1963 में क्या हुआ था? There was some kind of the deal happened between India and USA for the Tarapur atomic energy. But later, when India actually tested for on their territory, in at which place? Pokhran, right? Then they put what? Sanctions on India. Okay, so this is how it was happening, and they did not like it at all, right? And the sanctions were put, just like the sanctions are put here in on India at this point of time, while we are importing the energies from Russia. Okay, what else? Then come to the post-Cold War. What were the key points of the post-Cold War? Quickly revise. Collapse of Soviet Union. So what happened? Only one superpower was there. Then they had no option but to favor or get an influence of USA. It was a unipolar world back then. After 1991, then yes, some of the traits we could see that when the visiting was happening, so we could see the relations are becoming more cordial. Next. Yes, they said categorically that we will give F-16 fighter jets to Pakistan, and India obviously did not like it because they were supporting indirectly terrorism on the land of Pakistan, and it actually retaliated to them only. The way what happened 9/11 was retaliation of this. You support something wrong and this will happen. Next. Excellent. 123 agreement. What is the other name for that? Yes, India-US nuclear deal, right? Why that deal was important, significant for India? Exactly. They could exchange the technology in the sector of nuclear now, and without signing the NPT, they could become, and they were recognized as the nuclear state without signing the NPT. And there were other significance also apart from this, but for now, this was the situation. Up. In 2014, now we are coming to the period of 2014 to 2025, which is present. Okay, what happened in that? There was a Trump 1.0 when in 2014 or 15 Trump came, right? And in 2019, after that, who came? Yes, actually January 2021 the elections happened, right? What was the period of this Trump 1.0? Yes, 2015 to 2020. Do you remember in January 2021 what happened? Yes, क्या हुआ था? The Biden became the president, and how Trump was reacting to it? Not at all maturely. What he did? A menace in क्या हुई थी? Mob attack हुआ था, and it was not a very pleasant sight to watch, and that was especially one of the biggest supporter of the democracy, which is USA, is doing such things. What he said, I don't agree to the election results. I won't get down of the seat. I'm still the president, right? And it was very difficult to convince by Trump that see, election results have come and you need to accept it, right? So then came Joe Biden. Acha. What were the policies that Joe Biden was taking? So first come back history में जाइए 2015 में ट्रम्प का क्या क्या पॉलिसीज था. See, he was a naysayer to the climate change, and he said that we are not responsible for the climate change. Okay, everybody was participating, everybody was moving towards, for example, 2015 Paris Agreement. USA said no, we are not the supporter, we are not supporting this, and we are getting out of all the alliances, major alliances which were there for the climate change. He got out of it. One of them was UNFCCC. Okay, and when he got out of it, then actually what happened, the ideology shifts, and even today also he says that climate change is nothing, and whosoever is supporting it, I don't know. 2 days back only he has given this statement. Okay, so what is the thing? That one thing is that they are not supporting. I'm talking about Trump 1.0, and now 2024 mein what is the stage you call Trump 2.0 and 1.0. Are you getting this done? Okay. Now, then came Joe Biden. Joe Biden said, no, we are the supporters, and we know that how it is shifting. Climate change is one of the most important sensitive issue that every country should participate in. So what he did, there was a major G20 meeting, and G20 meeting which happened where? In Delhi only. कब हुआ था? September 2023, right? And they participated like anything. What we actually wanted that everybody should sign on. We proposed something. What was this proposal? Global Biofuel Alliance, right? And we tried to convince everyone that this should be one of the proposals that everybody should sign on, right? And Joe Biden was agreeing to it. But there was some other problems also with Joe Biden. What were they? They were retrieval. What happened of the major forces which happened in Afghanistan during his tenure. And it was also not pleasant because the whole government toppled, the support toppled, and you could see the menace happening in the Afghanistan. And then there are two types of Taliban. There are the good Taliban and the bad Taliban. How, by the way, what is our relation with Afghanistan? It's good. Why? Go to the histories. Go to the history. Why? Or socho. A strategy by a very famous person. Who was the actual strategist, like right now, who is a strategist of India? Ajit Doval. Before that, like in history, if you go, वो तो बाहर ही चले गए थे ना, उनको तो रहने ही नहीं दिया. It was Kautilya. Kautilya said that enemy's enemy is our friend, right? And when he said enemy's enemy is our friend, that means Pakistan's enemy is Afghanistan. Enemies, India's enemy is Pakistan. Pakistan enemy is Afghanistan. So conclusion is yes, सब टांग theory. Yes. So we two are friends. और जब हम दोनों friends हैं तो क्या होगा? So we'll always support indirectly or directly whatever happening in Afghanistan, right? So this is our buffer. Acha. So apart from that, what happened? There was a war which happened between Russia and Ukraine. That also happened during his tenure. And how Joe Biden responded to it? He supported Ukraine. And what else he did? Funding provide kari. Okay. So do you think that was the stand he took was right? What could have been the other way apart from this? और क्या कर सकते थे? न्यूट्रल. ओके, न्यूट्रल रख से क्या होता? बताइए. किसको प्रेशराइज करते हैं? यूएन. In this tenure, it has proved that UNSC and UN are of no use. इसी टाइम पीरियड में बहुत ज्यादा प्रूफ हुआ है ये बात. ठीक है, और बताइए. बताइए. हमारा एक डील भी हुआ था बाइडेन के साथ, राइट? व्हाट डील वी हैड of semiconductors, critical minerals. That was a major deal which happened between India and USA. Now, when Trump came in 2.0 period, what we said that maybe they will continue this or maybe they will not continue this, but the kind of the statements which are coming from the US presidency for India, we assume that that is going to go for long. Whatever proposals we have made with the Joe Biden during his tenure, basically, so it is going to get continued. Okay, what are the semiconductors? Why semiconductors are so important for us? And critical minerals, chips are very very important. We need the energy, technology, the next gen technology for the semiconductors. Also, we need quite a kind of a support in terms of investment and also in terms of technology, right? So that should be there. Apart from that, what else happened? और क्या हुआ था? जो बाइडेन वर्सेस टैक्सेशन इंक्रीज, वो इकोनॉमिक ट्रेड का प्रॉब्लम तो था ही हमेशा, बट नाउ इट हैज बीन फर्दर accelerated, right? Reciprocal tariffs have become a major point of contention between all the countries and versus USA, right? Reciprocal tariff we call it as. Earlier also we had some problems with that, but up to bahut zyada it has been exacerbated. Apart from that, ठीक है, लिखेंगे. चलिए, write down first Trump 2.0, because international relation is not completed without not writing what happening now. Okay. Trump 2.0 has signaled that it continues to attach importance and priority to the India-US relationship. Right? And how could we judge it? Just after he became a president, the third person to call Trump was our Prime Minister Modi. This was the third person who actually called him and congratulated him. Right? Even we also assume such things, that there was a special invitation which was given to our foreign ministers, and we also could map it to in which row they are sitting. For example, if somebody is sitting in the front row, that means the relation with that representative of that country, or maybe the country, you are having a good relation. That's why their representatives are given a major priority or preferences over others, right? So when Jaishankar was sitting out for foreign minister, he was sitting in the front row, so we could assume that the relations are excellent. Okay, so छोटी छोटी चीज से people they try to map that how are the relation between two countries. ठीक है? Next, write down. The joint statement was issued. The joint statement was issued about US India Compact. US India Compact, COMPACT, and write down in the capital letters Compact. Compact full form is catalyzing opportunities, catalyzing opportunities. Write down next. For military partnership, for military partnership, for military partnership, comma, accelerated commerce and technology. Accelerated commerce and technology. ठीक है? Okay. What next? Write down. Second point, third point. US has indicated willingness. US has indicated willingness to expand defense sales and co-production. Defense sales and co-production. Defense sales and co-production with India to strengthen with India to strengthen interoperability. Interoperability. Interoperability and defense industrial cooperation. And defense industrial cooperation. Indicated. Full stop. This is significant since agreement to promote co-production. This is significant since agreement to promote co-production and defense industrial cooperation would be going beyond. This is significant since agreement to promote co-production and defense industrial cooperation would be going beyond make America great again. Articulation of bringing manufacturing back bringing manufacturing back. Articulations, articulations, articulate, articulate. How many of you know what is the meaning? बोलना, articulate. ठीक है? What is the difference between rhetoric and articulation? What is rhetoric? बहुत बार यूज होता है इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस में, जैसे मोदी करते रहते हैं रिटोरिक, वो क्या है? मेक इन इंडिया, एक ही चीज को बार बार बोलना, रिपीट, रेटोरिक, राइट? और वो क्या बोलते हैं? मेक अमेरिका ग्रेट अगेन, दीज आर कॉल्ड रेटोरिक. आर्टिकुलेट मीन्स आपने कोई चीज वो भी, तो दिस डिफरेंस बिटवीन बोथ ऑफ देम वर्ड. ओके. और ब्रिंगिंग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बैक टू द यूएस, articulation of bringing manufacturing back to the US. अब मुझे आप ये बताइए, what I have written here, what is MAGA? Make America great again, and why this Modi is after this make America great again and not in Trump 2.0. He has been aiming at it from the 1.0 era only. Why? In that period only he had, in 2015 he said, forever I am going to, he tweeted, if you see his previous tweets, 10 years back only he tweeted that I'm going to end forever this H1B visas, right? And after that, in his presidentship speech also, he has made the same statement. क्या statement बोला था? This one, buy Americans, hire Americans, right? And you can use such terms in your answers. Okay, what he tweeted, what was the aim, and now his agenda is just after make America great again. And why he is after that? What do you understand by again? And why he is so much apprehensive of the fact that America is not supreme anymore? Why do you think so? First of all, tell me, why do you think so? ठीक है, किसी चीज को great again बोल रहे हैं तो मतलब वो great नहीं है, right? First of all, this, that mentality is coming because they consider that it's not having the same hegemony. See, in the international relation, we use two things, soft hegemony and hard hegemony. What is a soft hegemony? What India does. Culturally, we are what? Vishwaguru. Vishwaguru image of India is soft hegemony. When people are respecting you for being what you are, that is called soft hegemony. You're actually not forcing anybody to follow you. You are attracting everyone towards you only because you have certain things that people want to maybe learn from you, or maybe they admire India, right? So that is what. But first thing is hard hegemony. What do you understand by hard? When you're forcing, right? When you're forcing, when you're interrupting, when you're intervening, right? Forcing somebody. Sanction is what? It's a hard hegemony. It's one of the trait of hard hegemony. You're forcing. Either you do this or I'll do that. Okay? Threatening someone. Okay? So that is what. So why he's thinking of that, make America great again? And how does he want to do that? कैसे करना चाहते हैं? Correct. So can you tell me your childhood memories when you have actually think that America is very aspirational, very, very difficult to go into the territory of America? How many of you have actually seen that or felt that? जब आपसे कुछ समझ में आने लगा होगा, childhood means like 6-7 years, people start understanding the things, right? So but now can you see the image of the America is diluting? There is not as it's which is aspirational कब होती है? Yes, and also when people, the rarest of the rarest people go there. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा people, everyone is going there, that means that there is no restriction first of all. जब वो सबके लिए ही common हो गया, सबके लिए ही बहुत ज़्यादा accessible हो गया, then why the luxury brands? For example, I'm comparing this to the luxury brand. Only few can have the luxury brands. क्यों होते हैं सब किसी के पास ही luxury brands? For example, one of the any good luxury brand you take, why? Right, so exclusive, what is the term which they use? Exclusive, right? And they also produce minimum number, सिर्फ इतना ही limited edition है, they won't repeat it. Okay, so that is what, अगर किसी के पास है then you will assume कि no, exclusive. Similarly here, यहाँ पे वो वैसा नहीं रहा. दूसरा dollar, right? When you see that dollar is something, oh, that was not happening in many cases, right? Second, third thing is that also earlier what they used to make a statement, for example, like a threatening statement, etc. People used to follow that. Okay, America will do this, we have to not go against it. But now that is not happening. And fourth is that earlier there was hegemony of G7 countries, right? But now there are regional institutions, alliances which are coming, for example, G20, your Quad, your BRICS, your SARC, your Asian countries, right? So all these regional institutions, regional groupings, when they are becoming powerful, right? So obviously they won't like it. तो ये बहुत सारे रीजन है, एक ही पैरामीटर से नहीं, बहुत सारे रीजन से इसको देखा जाता है. China, and also they are no longer unipolar, bipolar. Now there's multilateralism, and yes, China is one of the major issues. Why? Because they are also claiming we are superpowers. Yes, they are very much apprehensive and threatened with the Chinese way the Chinese are manufacturing. They don't need anybody. This was also in his agenda. Trump's agenda was, we are not, I am going to disrupt the supply chain completely from China. Nobody is going to dependent on China at all. अगर वो चाइना पे डिपेंड है तो उनकी उसकी में भी है, मैनिफेस्टो में है ये, we are not going to depend on him anymore. ठीक है, तो सप्लाई चेन, कोविड में क्या हुआ था when this happened? Supply chain disruption happened because then we realized that maximum people are dependent on that, on China. And why so? Because of the accessibility of the goods, which are cheaper, affordable, right? Same brands, right? And why they are not liking China? Because China is one of the country who have built their manufacturing sector very strong. कहीं ज़्यादा है, and people they have amazing power. See, when you have the technology along with your human resource, human is also a resource, very powerful. But America is apprehensive because they think that Americans are not turned out to be that skilled resource. So what he said, लोगों ने complain भी किया कि Indians are very skilled and they are also very hardworking. So then they said कि do one thing, you hire Americans, you train them, then people are saying productivity will decrease, for time being it will decrease, you work on that. We want to change how the people are perceiving it. And many people are going from the underemployment status in America also, because inflation is so high, so they have to do what? The salaries are also high according to that. Acha. Apart from that, rare earth minerals. So China is one of the country which has possessed the rare earth mineral a lot. Semiconductors manufacturing में बहुत रिक्वायर्ड है, आपका इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स में बहुत रिक्वायर्ड है, आने वाले जो टेक्नोलॉजी यूज होगी उसके अंदर रेयर अर्थ मिनरल इज गोइंग टू प्ले रोल लाइक एनीथिंग. सो दे आर आल्सो नोइंग दैट. अब ये क्या करें, व्हाट ही प्रपोज ऑफ टेकिंग ग्रीनलैंड, राइट? व्हाई? बिकॉज द ग्रीनलैंड के ऊपर अंदर क्या है, रेयर अर्थ मिनरल पोजेशन इज मोर, एंड व्हेन दैट इज मोर दे आर गोइंग टू शिफ्ट. ठीक है, तो ये बहुत सारे पर्सपेक्टिव से देखा जा रहा है कि किस तरह से इनको मेक अमेरिका ग्रेट अगेन. और अभी तो H1B वीजा है ही हमारा, राइट? तो दैट इज व्हाट. ठीक है, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा money को they want to take by tariffs also. What tariffs they are called as reciprocal tariffs. और हम अच्छा what is that? बट क्वाड में ऐसा हो नहीं पाएगा बिकॉज यूएस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. ओके वो ब्रिक्स होगा फिर. ब्रिक्स होगा बिकॉज यूएस इज नॉट क्वाड. ब्रिक्स में है वो R5 BRIS ब्रिक 5. तो अब उसमें कंफ्यूजन है. हाँ हाँ they have said this no. They have he has given a statement. Dare you do that? He has said such statements from his presidency, from his where he sits, Washington, right? So हाँ इंडिया ने बना अब सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. उसका इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट्स बहुत सारे होंगे बट दिस इज अ गुड पॉइंट दैट इंट्रोड्यूस करा having the audacity to introduce is a very big point, right? And then from his presidency thing only he has said ki no, this is not going to happen. Okay, all right, good point. BRICS, see BRI ke against say some another regional, very good point. What's your name? Gargi, good point. So she has told about R5 currency that they have proposed, so that is also one you can write that how they are challenging the. Obviously, even they don't want to just dependent on him all the time. Hmm. Correct, correct. Correct. The infusion has assimilation has happened so much that now everybody wants something new. ठीक है, चलिए. Write down. समझ में आया सबको? Right? We have talked about defense technology, right? Okay. Write down the challenges and opportunity. What challenges and opportunity one can have during this time? Challenges and opportunity. So first we see the trade is clearly a challenge for both, right? USA also, India also. Write down trade is clearly an area of both challenge. Area of both challenge. Trade is clearly an area of both challenge and opportunity. Full stop. President Trump issued. President Trump issued a reciprocal tariff. A reciprocal tariff on the day of his meeting with Indian PM. With Indian PM. Full stop. Although not India specific, comma, he has always directed a message at India where he has always directed a message at India. Are you taking PSIR classes, Scholar? Are you taking PSIR classes? What is your option? Achha. Okay, I thought so. Next. Directed at India. What you have written last? India. Whom Trump has whom Trump has repeatedly and vocally criticized for and vocally criticized for higher tariffs. Vocally criticized for higher tariffs. Next point. Civil nuclear cooperation. Civil nuclear cooperation is also witnessing. Civil nuclear cooperation is also witnessing civil nuclear cooperation is also witnessing potential for revived cooperation, potential for revived cooperation, a potential for revived cooperation. If the proposed amendments, if the proposed amendments in India's nuclear liability law goes through. Liability law goes through. Law. There's a very important, I discussed about this ICET, which we have started in the administration of Joe Biden, which is your initiative on critical minerals, right? Right on third point, with the transformation of the Biden era initiative, with the transformation of with the transformation of Biden era, with the transformation of Biden era initiative on on critical and emerging technologies, on critical and emerging technologies, to Trump era trust, to Trump era trust, comma, new paths has been indicated. New paths has been indicated for enhancing technology cooperation, for enhancing technology cooperation. Okay. In ICET phase, write down, in the ICET phase, comma, in the ITEC phase, comma, ET phase, comma, on artificial intelligence, on artificial intelligence, the discussion had focused on, the discussion had focused on norms, comma, the discussion has focused on norms, comma, standards, comma, standards, and safety issues, and safety issues. Okay. What could be the potential drawbacks of the AI that they have talked about and they keep on talking? Do you think? Yes. What else? Privacy, security issues, definitely. Then, yes, we have discussed. Yes, definitely. और क्या हो सकता है? Yes. How come? But artificial intelligence, that is because of the screen. Yes, yes. So, have you read a case study where, for example, Chat GPT it was said that people who use more of a chat GPT are actually going to kill their tendency, their ability of thinking, critical thinking, right? Because the more you're depending on the chat GPT, see, using something in a very normal manner, that's fine. आप छोटे amount time के लिए use करें, that's fine for some rarest thing. But if you are depending on that too much, if for a very small thing, you're not even applying your brains, then what is happening? कि आपका ज़्यादा सा काम कौन कर रहा है? Chat GPT कर रहा है. That is similarly for other chatbots. For example, China का भी release हुआ था what? DeepSeek, right? DeepSeek. So was they have more this features than the Chat GPT. So you have to understand that how much you have to use the technology, how much you have to depend on the technology, and how much you don't have to. So that kind of a balance has to be maintained always. ठीक है? Next लिखेंगे मुझसे पूछ लो. Okay, next point. Recognize the contribution of India US defense acceleration ecosystem. Recognize the contribution of India US defense acceleration ecosystem. Short में इसको लिखते हैं Indus X, INDUS and then X, INDUS और फिर X. ठीक है, short form में Indus defense acceleration ecosystem, bringing together startups in defense technologies, bringing together startups in defense technologies, now there is a decision to launch the Blico together startups in defense technologies, and now there is decision to launch Indus Innovation, and now there is a decision to launch Indus Innovation, widening the focus to space, energy and another emerging technologies. Now there is a decision to launch Indus Innovation, widening the focus to space, Indus Innovation, widening the focus to space, energy and other emerging technologies, right? How many of you know about this Belt and Road Initiative, which is by China? And in counter that, recently India, Europe, USA has got what? Their own, right, to counter this. What is that? IMAC. What is that? IMEC. Full form is India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. How many of you know about this? नहीं पता. ठीक है. हाँ? Belt and Road Initiative. मैंने इसके बारे में पहले बताया है शायद. Right? What is Belt and Road Initiative? Exactly. Right? So here is your Saudi Arabia, right? And this is your, for example, India. From here, what will happen? From here, it will go like this and then to European country. So it's a multimodal वहीं पर ही है वहीं पर ही है मिडिल ईस्ट ठीक है नहीं हम तो करेंगे ना सैंक्शंस लगाने से क्या होगा सैंक्शंस लगाने का मतलब क्या होता है? आप लगाइए टैक्सेस, तो क्या हम लोग ये इनिशिएटिव छोड़ देंगे? कहाँ से फंडिंग कम होगी? कहाँ से फंडिंग अगर कम हो भी रही है, देन वी हैव आवर ओन रीजनल बैंक्स आल्सो. फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव अ बैंक ऑफ एससीओ. एससीओ से हम लेंगे बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि ये तो सबके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है ना. पर वहाँ पे चाइना है, मे बी वहां से ना मिले डेफिनेटली, बिकॉज एससीओ में चाइना है. बट हम बाकियों पे बैंक कर सकते हैं इसमें बेटे. तो हाँ, क्योंकि इजराइल है, वही मैं सोची सऊदी अरेबिया है, बिकॉज सऊदी अरेबिया इज ऑल्सो. हाँ, ये इसराइल एंड यूएस आर हैविंग गुड रिलेशंस, राइट. अगर गुड रिलेशंस नहीं होते, जो अभी जो हो रहा है, दैट तब तक वो रिटेलिएट कर चुका होता, जो अभी हो रहा है पैलेस्टाइन के अंदर. ठीक है, यू नॉट गेटिंग. ओके, व्हाट हैपेंड? थोड़ा सा नीचे पढ़ना पड़ेगा गाइस इसके लिए. ठीक है, इसको चेक इट. इसके लिए आपको वो करने की जरूरत नहीं है. हाँ, आप अपना डाउट पूछो, मतलब डोंट फोकस. अगर नहीं समझ आ रहा, बाद में यू कैन जस्ट कंटिन्यू. पूरा न्यूज क्या था बताइए मुझे. वो येमेन पे था. हाँ हाँ, बोलो 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 बोलो. ये डिफरेंट है. जो आप पहले पूरा न्यूज बताओ क्या था. पहले बताओ चाबर पोर्ट है कहाँ. चेक करो पहले. हाँ, थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो गया है, कोई बात नहीं. दिस इज हाउ. देखिए, शुरू में इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस पढ़ते हो ना, एटलीस्ट शी इज हैविंग अ कंफ्यूजन, दैट मींस शी इज ट्राइंग. फर्स्ट पॉइंट. अगर किसी के पास कंफ्यूजन, दैट मींस समबडी इज ट्राइंग हार्ड टू अंडरस्टैंड द थिंग्स. सो यू शुड नो कि आपको क्या करना है. इनिशियली थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट लगेगा कि क्या है, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स कंबाइन करते हैं. ठीक है, कहाँ पर है? हाँ हाँ, गल्फ ऑफ ओमान. कंट्री बताइए. कंट्री ईरान, राइट. ईरान के साथ क्या रिलेशन है यूएस का? न्यूक्लियर बेसिस हटा रहे हैं वो. ठीक है, राइट. तो सैंक्शन क्यों लग रहा है वहां पे? यहाँ पे नहीं खुलेगा ना, वहाँ नहीं खुलेगा, शो नहीं होगा ना स्क्रीन. I'll download the PPT कल. The Swiss of. हाँ हाँ, हॉर्मुज. स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज. स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज. यू टॉकिंग अबाउट स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज. करेक्ट. सो यहाँ से सी, आप किसी के पोर्ट पे लगा रहे हो, दैट डजंट मीन कि सैंक्शन किस पे लग रहा है, ईरान पे लग रहा है, तो ये ईरान का हेडेक है, नॉट फॉर द पीपल हु आर कंबाइनिंग इट. ये एक अलग चीज है. दैट इज अ गुड थिंग दैट यू टोल्ड, बट ये एक अलग चीज है. दिस इज द कॉर्पोरेशन इन विच द कंट्री हैज कम, कि हम लोग इसको क्या करेंगे, काउंटर बैलेंस. जैसे BRI बन रहा है, वी विल ऑल्सो ब्रिंग another infrastructure which is going to multimodal. Multimodal means railways, your using the oceans, rivers, etc., and then your roads also. ये multimodal होगा, ताकि जो हम कैसे आ रहे हैं लाइक दिस, अब शॉर्ट हो जाएगा. कैसे आया समझ में? ठीक है, so this is ट्रेड के लिए. क्यों नहीं जा सकते? कहाँ की बात? शिप नहीं है वहाँ, ट्रेन जाएगी ना, तभी तो मल्टी मॉडल है. नहीं, ऐसा नेटवर्क कहीं नहीं है, इतना फ्री फ्लो. ये नेटवर्क है ही नहीं. वो ऑप्टिकल फाइबर का है. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ट्रेड, योर कम्यूटेशन. There is no such thing. You understand? For example, you have to commute from one place to another place. How will you do that? अभी हम कैसे जा रहे हैं? टाइम लगता है. यहाँ पे प्रोडक्टिविटी ज्यादा हो जाएगी, राइट, और जल्दी पहुंच जाएंगे. ठीक है. व्हाट इज द नेम? इंडिया मिडल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर. Everyone who is asking me the full form again, India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. This is a full form, and this has been said that it has come against your BRI. ठीक है. अब लिखेंगे. कितने लोगों को ये बात समझ में आई है? आई मैक पूरा समझ में आया? हाँ हाँ, इसके बारे में लिखिए थोड़ा सा. रेफरेंस मतलब सिर्फ इसके बारे में लिखना है, राइट. पॉजिटिव्स हेडिंग लिखेंगे, पॉजिटिव्स एंड ऑल्सो अनसर्टेनिटीज. हेडिंग लिखेंगे पॉजिटिव्स एंड ऑल्सो uncertainties in regional and global cooperation. In regional and global cooperation. Next point. Both countries indicated willingness to further regional and ग्लोबल कोऑपरेशन. इसका डिस्कशन कहाँ पर हुआ था? G20 मीटिंग. G20 मीटिंग कहाँ पे हुई थी? लास्ट जिसका डिस्कशन हुआ था इसका इंडिया के अंदर, दिल्ली में. ठीक है. बोथ कंट्रीज इंडिकेटेड विलिंगनेस टू फर्दर रीजनल एंड ग्लोबल कोऑपरेशन. टू फर्दर रीजनल एंड ग्लोबल कोऑपरेशन. नहीं लिख रहे? क्या हुआ? हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा, ओके. Next point. They spoke of maritime patrols. Maritime. And they spoke of maritime. Maritime means marine. They spoke of maritime. They spoke of maritime patrols. Patrol means वैसा पेट्रोल नहीं. Patrolling means आप देखते रहते हो कि सर्विलेंस. यस, वेरी गुड. पेट्रोल्स, PATROLS, पेट्रोल्स, to improve interoperability. To improve interoperability. Scope मतलब? They spoke of maritime patrols to improve interoperability. वैसे स्कोप भी सही फिट कर रहा है. Comma, and shared airlift capacity to support civilian response. Airlift capacity to support civilian response to natural disasters. Next point. India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. शॉर्ट फॉर्म में लिखेंगे IMEC. IMEC. And I2U2. That is, I'll tell you the full form. I2U2, which is India, Israel, comma, United Arab Emirates, and United States will convene, CONVENE, will convene within 6 months. लिखेंगे conclusion. कंक्लूजन लिखेंगे 6 months. Conclusion on overall what is going to be the partnership further ahead, right? Both countries indicated. Oh, sorry, wait. Conclusion में लिखेंगे. Thus, it is clear that new Trump administration wants new Trump administration wants to deepen the partnership. It is clear that new Trump administration wants to deepen the partnership with India across domains and do more together globally and regionally. First up, even while being publicly critical, even while being publicly critical on trade, President Trump is believed to have valued his interactions with India PM. Write down. Leading US companies, for example, Amazon, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs. Goldman लिखिए और फिर Sachs लिखिए. And Goldman Sachs. H लिखा है. Goldman Sachs. Do you know about these companies? What is that? For your what? Yes, financial institution. Very good. Next, JP Morgan again, right? And Amazon, everybody knows. Okay. Understand that they will need the India partnership. To maintain their global edge. In innovation. That's all. अब net कितना are you able to understand in the whole session? कितने लोगों? Because IR is something which you think or see somebody who's been reading IR from 10 years, they can understand even the very minute things. ठीक है? Somebody is reading from last 5 years, उनके लिए different है. Somebody reading it for 2, उनके लिए different है. और आप लोग जिनको सिर्फ एक ही दिन हुआ है, उनके लिए बहुत different होगा. So अभी तक how much you have been able to understand and grasp? कितने लोग? आपने तो शायद आपका बैकग्राउंड ही है, so you are able to understand more. Apart from that, जिनका बैकग्राउंड नहीं है, आई एम मोर कंसर्न अबाउट दोज पीपल. थोड़ा बहुत 50%. हाँ, और अब 60-70 हो गए. कल से बेटर है. कल आई थिंक यू वर मोर. आपको समझ पूरा? आपका बैकग्राउंड भी है क्या PSI में? अच्छा यार, आपने पढ़ा है. आपका ठीक है. कल से हाँ, जो आप तो कल क्लास में ही नहीं थे. हाउ यू वुड हैव गॉट टू नो? कल तो आप मुझे बाहर मिले थे। अच्छा तभी। वो मुझे इनको ने ये नहीं बोला। अच्छा अच्छा ओके, आई एम ग्लैड आपने आज ऑनेस्टली बोला। ठीक है, देखिए थोड़ा थोड़ा कहीं कहीं टफ होगा क्योंकि आप हिस्ट्री में जा रहे हो। कल भी मैंने बोला था कोरियन क्राइसिस इज मोर ऑफ अ वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, तब तक आपको वो चीज समझ नहीं आएगी। अब कोल्ड वॉर कोई किसी को नहीं समझ में आएगा, कोल्ड वॉर फेज क्या था, तभी मैंने आपको फर्स्ट क्लास में सबसे पहले कोल्ड वॉर फेज समझाया ताकि आप प्री और पोस्ट में डिफ्रेंशिएट कर सके आप लोगों को। आर यू गेटिंग यू हर्षी? लेट ज्वाइन किया है। आर यू गेटिंग? अच्छा, स्टार्ट रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स, एनालाइज करिए, ठीक है। जितना ज्यादा पढ़ेंगे अपने एंड पे उतना ज्यादा समझ में आएगा। आई कैन मेक द फंडामेंटल्स, आई कैन मेक द फाउंडेशन, ठीक है। बट इसको एनहांस, क्योंकि हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ न्यू होता है इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस में, ठीक है। आज जैसा चल रहा है रिलेशन, कल वो चेंज हो सकता है बिकॉज ऑफ सम अदर फैक्टर, ठीक है। So it's very dynamic. Thank you so much.